Hi guys, Samuel Larsen here, and I see a lot of amateur optimizers doing A/B tests and stopping them either too early or too late. Really just randomly testing things and proclaiming winners without any reason and not having a good testing plan. So I wanted to put out these three pretty commonly agreed rules that optimizers have on when to actually stop your A/B test, and also want to cover a situation where this doesn't actually apply. So this is the three stopping rules for your A/B test. Now you want to have all of these rules, so not one, not two, but three. And the first rule really is to run your test at 95% confidence rate. Now this is just the first rule. 95% confidence rate doesn't actually guarantee everything. And the problem is that these testing tools say that this is a winner 95% of the time, or they proclaim these things where this can still be very much within the margin of error, and these tests flip all the time. So people stop this way too early and go, hooray, hooray, we have won. But in reality, you should have just waited out, and you might have found out that you actually didn't have a winner. You just had a false positive. So you were celebrating way too early. Now, the second rule is to run your tests until you have 250 conversions. And this is per project, per variation. So in reality, if you're running a simple A/B test, you want to have 500 conversions in total. Unfortunately, this means that on low traffic sites, you cannot really run that many tests because this is not enough traffic. There's not enough conversions to get a good sample size. So that's why these tests flip all the time, because you're just not having the sample size required to have that effect where the lines are balanced and they're not going to change much anymore. Now the third point is to run your test for at least one business cycle. Now your business cycle might be just 1 week if you're an e-commerce retailer. In e-commerce it's 1 week. If you're a lead generator, it would be 1 month. That would be to balance out these these valleys and peaks in your sales. So as an e-commerce retailer, you might sell better on a Tuesday than a Sunday. So you want to make sure that you get a full week. So at least always start and stop your test on the same day that you started. So stop on the same day that you started and start on the same day that you stopped. So this way you will eliminate these kind of fluctuating changes within a week. Also, if your business cycle is a month, test a full month. And if you do decide that it's not cooked within a month, you need to test the whole new month. So you never stop at 1.5 months, because you want to test full cycles to get accurate data. All right, so those were the three rules: 95% confidence, 250 conversions per variation, and full business cycle, and preferably 4 weeks. That's what really the big conversion agencies have as a rule. Now, like I mentioned, there's not really simple rules that always apply here. It depends. And one thing that you can look and keep in mind is these graphs that Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely, they give you these nice graphs where you can see is it stable? So that's the first line of defense against calling false positives or stopping tests too early. Second line of defense is your margin of error. So every test will have this, like this conversion rate was 5%, and there will be the margin of error, which will, like, for example, be plus minus 1%. Now, if your variation A and variation B, if their margins of error collide, your test is not done. And you might declare a false positive because you just don't understand these margin of error codes. Now, if it says plus minus 1%, it still means it's a bell curve. So it means it's most likely in the middle, but it might be an outlier here as well. So you don't really know. But this error is a perfect way to also be sure that you're not calling it too early. So look at this and look at the chart. And lastly, you can call tests early and see that, like, there is no lift. Sometimes that happens. Just don't call early winners too early, because let's say you want to get a big lift, and after a while it becomes obvious that, like, there is no lift on this variation. Maybe it's performing minus 20%. Like, so even if you run really good on the later cycle, later half of the cycle, for example, you're never going to get there. So in this case, you might want to just stop the test too early, because we are in the business of making money, and we don't necessarily need to be all that scientific all the time. So in this case, we can make the conclusion that this stopping the test prematurely will actually make us more money. It will enable us to test something new and to create a test that would be more high value. So that's the only point where you can stop test a little bit earlier than you should, even breaking some of these rules. But that's it. Hopefully that gave you a good insight on where to stop your tests and when they are actually cooked, when you can trust the data instead of just creating a bunch of false positive like most companies. All right, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more conversion optimization videos, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks.